Alright, what is going on everyone? Hope you're all doing well. So I thought I'd make a quick, actually it's a very important video that I feel like is necessary for everyone to understand and comprehend when having open positions running in profits. When do you move your stop loss to break even? And that was actually a question asked by quite a lot of you. So I feel like it's very necessary that I make this video, as it will be very educational for you guys, and most importantly it will help you guys to manage your positions well, knowing when to remove the risk out of your trade and let the trade run in profits. So let's get straight into it. When to move stop loss to break even. So I've quickly done this drawing for you guys to explain it before I show you guys examples on the charts. So let's take a look at this price action right here. So as you can see, we had some equal highs right here. Price took out these equal highs, grabbing that liquidity and then shifting over to the downside, leaving a very nice level of supply, which is perfectly valid as one, it was the last area that took out liquidity and it was the last area that broke structure. Okay, so we have a very valid area of supply right here. So price has now pulled back into this area of supply and you've jumped in sales. Your trade is now running in profit, but when do you move your stop loss to break even? So identify the last low before price mitigated your area of supply in this case. So as you can see here, this was the last low printed before your point of interest was mitigated, right? So keep an eye on this last low. Price pulls back, mitigates your supply, and it starts to go into your intended direction, right? So what you have to wait for before moving your stop loss to break even is waiting for price to break the low before your area was mitigated. So as you can see, this was the last low before our area of supply was mitigated. Now we just wait for price to break that recent low. Once that low was broken, move your stop loss to break even. Okay, so this was just an example that was drawn out, but now I'm going to show you guys an example on the chart. So this is a quick screenshot I took on, I believe it was, can't lie, I'm not sure what pair it was, but anyways, this is just an example. It wasn't a trade that I took, but I just put it onto the charts to just show you guys a brief example of when I would move my stop loss to break even. So as you can see here, price tapped into this nice level of supply right here, and then it continues over to the downside. We had that change of character, then price pulls back into a nice level of supply. That's your confirmation entry. You would have gotten sales at this level right here. But remember, the first thing we must identify is the last low before your area, your point of interest, okay? So essentially this was the last low, correct? So once price pulls back and mitigates our level of supply and starts to move in our intended direction, we must wait for price to take out that last low. Now as you can see here, this was the last low before the point of interest was mitigated, right? But now the supply was mitigated, and now what happened here? The low has now been taken out and a new low was printed. This is when you'll move your stop loss to break even. Okay, so it's quite simple guys. You identify the last low before your area of interest, wait for your area of interest to be mitigated, and once it's mitigated and it's in profit, wait for that last low to be broken, and once that last low is broken, you then move your stop loss to break even, and now your trade is running risk free. I'm going to show you guys another example before I move on to an actual trade that I took today on silver. And again, I'll break it down for you guys after this slide right now. So as you can see here, price pulls into this very nice level of supply. You're going for longs. Again, this wasn't a trade that I jumped in on. This is just an educational example. So price taps into this supply, moves into your intended direction. What's the first thing we do? We identify the last high before this area of demand was mitigated, right? So this was the last high. Demand was mitigated, we go into buys, price moves in our intended direction, and then boom, what happens at this level right here? Price breaks through the last high, stop loss can now be moved to break even. Okay, so remember, this was the last high before the demand was mitigated. The demand is now mitigated, price breaks through that last high, and what do? We move our stop loss to break even, and now the trade is running in profit, risk free. No stress, nothing that you need to worry about. All profits. If the trade pulls back, you break even, nothing lost, no stress. Okay, so that's about it with the slides. Let's move on to silver. Now this was actually a trade that I took today. Was secured a very nice 13 risk to reward. As you lot can see here, 13 risk to reward was secured. Made a nice 6.5% on this trade. I actually explained this trade for my students. I'll play a quick slide right now. And if this zone does fail, I'll show you guys the zone I'll be looking at after this one. So if this level right here fails, we got a very nice 2-hour order block right here. So I'll be waiting for a confirmation entry at this level if this one does not hold. Alright, so let's get back into the video. So first of all, let me break down the trade and why I entered. Initially, I was monitoring this level of supply right here. As you can see, I actually jumped in sales 2 days back. I jumped in sales at this level. As you can see, we were in profit. Trade was running nicely, and then boom, what happened? Price took me out of break even. I didn't take a loss. Why? Okay, so let me show you guys an example. Let's just say we jumped in sales right here. Okay, stop loss. Oh, sorry. Took out my long position by accident. There we go. So let's just say you jumped in sales at this level, right? Why did I break even and not hit stop loss? Let me show you guys right now. So remember, the first thing we must identify is the last low before your area was mitigated. This was the last low before my supply was mitigated, right? So let's just say the trade was running in profit. What happened to this low right here? This low was broken. Okay, so let me mark out that low for you guys. As you can see here, this low was broken. This was the last low before price mitigated my level of supply, right? So now this low was broken. Once this low was broken, what did I do? I moved my stop loss to break even. But now watch what happened. Price pulled back and took me out of break even. No loss was taken. You see, that's how I saved myself from taking a loss. I'd rather break even than take a loss on a position. And that's the rule that I follow. You identify the last low before price mitigates your area of supply. Once that low is broken, you move your stop loss to break even. No stress, price pulls back, takes you out, minor, you didn't lose nothing. But now, what level did I monitor? Now, if you in the clip that I just showed you guys that I sent to my students, I was keeping an eye out for this 2-hour right here. I did not go in aggressive, I was waiting for a confirmation entry. So once now price pulls back, this supply fails to hold, we now monitor this area of supply here on the 2-hour. Price rejects it nicely and continues its move to the downside. Now, let me head over to the 30-minute because that's exactly what I took my supply of. Okay, so what did I see and why I took it? This was the last low. This low was broken. Okay, we had a fresh level of supply here on the 30-minute and was mitigated during the London Open. All right, so this is when I executed my trade. As you can see, this was our higher time frame zone that we were monitoring. Price continues to shift over to the downside. We get that confirmation entry here on the 30-minute. Price expands, pulls back into this level of supply on the 30-minute, and then we get in for sales. But now, when did I move my stop loss to break even and allow the trade to run in profit risk-free? Okay, so now we have entered sales at this level right here. Remember, what's the first thing we do, guys? We identify the last low before the area was mitigated, and in this case, this was the last low, correct? So now, once I identified that this was the last low, I got in my trade right here, and I was monitoring price as it takes out this low. Now, what happened right here? Price took out the low. So what did I do? My stop loss was moved to break even. Now my trade is running risk-free. As you can see, once I moved my stop loss to break even, price continued in its intended direction, secured my take profit right there, 6.5% was locked in, and my trade was running risk-free. Didn't have to monitor it, no stress, nothing. And this is the only rule I follow when it comes to moving my stop loss to break even. So it's quite simple, guys. These are the things you must identify. In a bearish sentiment, you want to identify the last low before price mitigates your area of interest. Once price mitigates your areas of interest and the trade is moving into profit, you'd wait for price to take out that last low that I was talking about. Once that last low was taken and price breaks straight through it, you then move your stop loss to break even, and now your trade is running risk free. And that is about it. Anyways, guys, if you have any further questions, DM me. I know a lot of you have been complaining about my replies, but guys, honestly, there is hundreds and hundreds of DMs. I'm trying to get back to you guys as fast as I can, but of course there are some of you that I'm not going to be able to get to, but leave a question anyway and hopefully I'll get back to you. Anyways, guys, take care. Peace. If you guys haven't already, drop me a follow on Instagram. I post a lot of educational videos there, a lot of breakdowns of my trades. As you can see, this GC trade that we took right now, broke it down for this for the followers on Instagram, same for this GJ trade, and so on, so on. And also, if you guys want to join along the team, I'll leave the link down in the description below, or you can head over to my Instagram, click the link in the bio, and simply head over to ZM Capital's Academy. Once you're there on the website, all you need to do, you can check out the course curriculum right there, head over to join now, and then once it loads up, all you need to do is create an account, check out, and that is about it. Anyways, guys, drop me a DM if you have any questions. Until then, see you on the next video.
Peace up, A-Town down. Yeah!